Hello?
Bernice?
Yes?
This is Dan. I'm returning your call, your request for that information for supplemental income that you went through about 24 hours ago.
Yes?
All righty. Let me help you out here. I'm not a salesman or telemarketer, and I'm not going to ask you for any money. My only purpose here is a short, brief call to figure out what to send you and whether or not anything that you've asked for makes sense and you really want it. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Bless you. So how long have you been searching, Bernice, if I may, and what's been your results so far?
Well, I've been for on and off for a while, and I did come across some things that were supposed to be guaranteed an income or whatever, and sounded like a good thing, but it ends up not.
Okay. Well, life does not have any guarantees, and I would have to respectfully say, with all my experience, I know of no guarantees in a business that you own, none whatsoever. And I would respectfully say that anybody that offers you a guarantee, you need to walk, not run, to the nearest exit. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. When you say on and off, Bernice, that really got me curious. Could you tell me more? That sounded interesting.
Well, I don't know. It's I don't know how to explain it. It's just because of certain things that happened in my life, I guess, that caused it to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how else to explain it.
Well, that's okay. When you're looking at these opportunities and listening to the folks on the phone, what is stopping you from going any farther? What is it that doesn't resonate with you, Bernice?
Usually it's finances.
Okay. So when you say finances, basically, starting a business is going to be very tough because you have very little or minimal starting working capital. Even in the interview you had, I remember you saying that you had at least $400 to get yourself started. Does that ring a bell?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not asking you for $400. I'm merely saying that as we go through this process, if what we're talking about makes sense to you at a future date, if you don't have it, the big question is going to be, is it worth your while to find it? Because it's important to you to make supplemental income, and that is something that has not been determined. Okay?
Okay.
All righty. When you're looking for a business, Bernice, what criteria is most important to you?
It has to be something I believe in.
Okay.
All right. That it'd be beneficial to others.
Okay. All right. Okay. When you decided that you needed supplemental income, what was the biggest motivating factor that got you to that point?
The personal finance.
Personal finances?
Yeah.
Are we talking a little money here, or are we talking a lot of money?
That I didn't have, or...
Now, if you were making an extra, let's say, $300 or $400 a month, would that help you through the rough spots, or are we talking about bigger dollars?
Bigger.
Bigger. When you say bigger, are we talking $1,000 a month?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If you had a business of your own, Bernice, and you weren't making $1,000 a month in the first 2 or 3 months, and maybe the first month you didn't make anything, maybe the second month you only made $200, and the third month you maybe made $300, maybe more, how would you feel?
I guess I'd have to review what's happening, as in the reason why it's not being as successful.
Okay. So if I was to share with you that when I started a work-from-home opportunity, I went 6 months without making any money because I had so much to learn, because I realized that just because I knew how to do another occupation, that this was a new challenge. How would you feel about that startup curve as far as you having to learn a new challenge? How does that resonate with you?
That's understandable, though. I mean, I understand that.
Okay. What do you do for a living, Bernice?
Right, currently,
Yes, ma'am.
I work at Millwood Country Club.
Okay. How long have you worked there?
April 10th will be 5 years.
Okay. Do you like it there?
Oh, yeah, I love it there.
You love it there? What do you love about it?
The members.
Okay.
They're really nice, and it's a good atmosphere, too, with them.
When you say you love it, if there's anything you could change about what you do at the country club, what would you change? What would you like to have differently?
Well, there's changes currently going on, and they're good changes. So I guess I can't say that it isn't, because we had another manager, the club manager, and it was totally different. So I don't know. I'd have to say right now that things are changing anyhow that we've been wanting for years, and this club manager seems to be doing that.
So the comfort that you had and what you loved isn't as strong now as it was in the past. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that there was a period. Well, I guess it's not. How do I want to put it this way? It's hard to explain. The only thing I guess is I guess the communication and the way they get along together in the departments. It has nothing to do with the members. It's like the employee part. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh, it does. It's called politics. Isn't that the word you're struggling for?
Well, I don't know if it's politics as much as it's non-communication amongst departments.
Okay.
Because then one individual, like a member, asks a question, and then you don't know it. You feel kind of, and it's like, well, nobody told, or sent the information down to you or gave it to you.
So you feel left.
Kind of at a loss when somebody asks you a question.
You feel left out, don't you?
Yeah.
Yep, you feel left out. That happens. That happens in the nicest of circumstances. What do you think you could do to change that? That feeling of being left out.
Being left out?
Yeah. When you don't feel like you're part of the team because you're not included in things like you were before.
Oh, that, they do that. I was just meaning that it's, well, okay, I don't know how, I'll just tell you, give you an example, okay?
Sure.
I was hired in as a youth coordinator, which I was in charge of a lot of things, but once I fell on the premises, and I had to have surgery, came back, and things totally changed. I was no longer in charge of things. I was like an equal, and she hired 2 other people, and I had to respect it and kind of take a step back. And a lot of things happened in the risk management area that I guess I didn't approve of. But then through all in all, I've been trying to accept it. But I'm finding out that things that I do or are in charge of doing, it ends up going through these other people that she'll tell them first before she'll tell me.
I understand
and that's
perfectly.
My boss.
Okay. You just painted a picture that is corporate America, okay? You just painted the corporate America picture. What have you done so far in trying to change your present situation? What success have you had?
Changing it? I don't know. I've tried to be very cooperative and respectful of what my boss's wishes are.
All right. And in regards to your supplemental income desires, what plans have you executed? What has worked for you? What hasn't worked for you in the supplemental income need that is so important to you?
I've tried to do outside babysitting for other, I ended up getting income just enough to pay for my certification for American Red Cross to renew. And that's about it. So I couldn't never get it going to be more profitable than just that.
Okay.
So, and then the other one is I went into private coaching.
Okay.
But then that really didn't take off because some things have changed.
Okay.
I was limited in finances to support that or other things too.
Have you recovered from your back surgery?
It wasn't back surgery. It was knee surgery.
Knee? Okay. All right. A torn meniscus, a medial meniscus, usually?
Yeah.
Okay. As any consolation, I get that done Thursday at 8:30 in the morning, so can I join your club?
Yep.
Okay. Just thought I'd ask. Okay. When you look at your needs it sounds like you'd like to be your own boss. Is that true?
Pretty much, I guess.
Okay. And do I understand you correctly when I hear the words you'd be a little more comfortable if you were in a little more control? You were happy when you had control and they took it away from you. You sound like you were unhappy. That's why I asked that question.
Oh, no, it's certain things that they do that, okay, I had a certification that kind of went over, like, legal responsibilities and medical responsibilities and that kind of thing. And it's when I was able to apply those principles and actually put it into, my everyday job. But then slowly I had to pull off and not apply them anymore because of my boss.
Okay.
So an example would be a member brings their kid in that had peanut allergies. Well, what I did was I listed kids members that came in at the time and let everybody know on staff that was watching them that, you had to make sure that no one brought it in if this one's allergic by touch or whatever, and just to let them be aware of it so that they could, be prepared and make sure that there's nothing there to harm the child,
Okay. Have you thought about what it takes to be successful in owning your own business? Because you represent that you really do understand what you do at the country club. So have you equally gone into enough depth and soul searching to know what it takes to be successful when you actually own your own business?
I guess my biggest hang-up would be the investment part of it. And that would, because I wouldn't have the money in order to invest in it, in order to get it, going.
If you had the money, you would do it, though, wouldn't you? You sound like you're a doer.
Yes, I probably would.
Okay, so let's put the money on the back burner, and let's focus more on you and make sure you know what would be expected of you.
Okay,
how to verify and confirm so you don't think the things that you thought earlier. Remember when you were hitting me with this, well, these guarantees were bogus? Remember when you said that?
Yeah, there's no...
Okay, and we can even go through and design a budget and show you what your budget would be for the whole first year so you would know if you did make a decision whether or not you could hang on there for a year so you wouldn't lose money. Doesn't that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, and even more importantly, have you ever thought about the concept of testing a business like you would, I presume you drive?
Yes.
Okay, and you drove your car before you bought it, even if it was just around the block or something, just to get a feel for it. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, so when I say the word test drive, you know exactly what we're talking about, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, if we could test drive the business for as long as you wanted to, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and let you be on the inside, knowing the ins and outs of the business before you made a decision, wouldn't that basically tear away any of these concerns you have about fear, anxiety, skepticism, doubt, even lack of confidence?
Yes.
I'm saying I want to take you to camp, a summer camp, and I want you to learn how to play tennis. So when you go to play tennis with your friends, you can compete. And if you don't like the camp and you don't learn how to play tennis, then you don't go play with your friends. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay? Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, I've had some scheduling of camp experience, so yes, I understand.
Okay. What would that do for you if you had that kind of support to make that transition? So if you did decide it was what you wanted to do, and let's say hypothetically it cost you $50, $75 to try the business for a while, a couple of months, and you'd already be in the business, but you hadn't spent a lot of money yet, wouldn't that really get you where you want to go?
It depends.
Well, what would stop you? Because I don't know of anybody else in the business that gives you the opportunity to test drive it before you make an investment.
Right. Oh, I understand that. It was just that, the problem is, if you get into a habit of always test driving it, you always wonder when you're ever going to actually own it or not own it. But
no. Well, let's address that. Let's address that, Bernice.
I guess a vested interest in it then.
Okay. My point is, you not only don't have the money, but you don't have the confidence. So I want you to go out on that tennis court, and I want you to bang the balls back and forth for whatever time you need to where you can say, you know, I can do this. I can do this. I feel good about this. I've tried the product. I like the product. I've looked at the process. I can do the process. I know how to do this, just like I know how to be a youth coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I know what I can do now. Don't you feel the difference in being able to accomplish that step before you make a decision rather than jumping in and saying, oh, I failed again. Oh, me, oh, my. Why set yourself up for failure? That doesn't make sense. Do you see that?
You're right.
Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want you to set yourself up for unrealistic expectations. I want you to take advantage of having the knowledge so if you decide to go forward, there aren't many excuses left except a lot of hard work, just like what you did to get that certification. You didn't get that overnight, did you?
No.
Okay. Why do you expect to be successful in the business? Wouldn't you want to have a good shot at knowing the ins and outs of it first?
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk about, this test drive, there's so much to it. There's a lot of steps, and what we do is we go as fast or as slow as you want to go with the different steps. We can do it in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever you want. But the point is, you get a chance to really know all the ins and outs.
Mm-hmm.
How to analyze the product, how to talk about the product. What are your strengths and weaknesses? We make a list of them. We work on your strengths and weaknesses before you get started. Why wait to find out that you got a bum knee before you go to play tennis? Why don't you fix the knee first? Does that make sense?
Yes.
And the idea behind this is if you will take this step to help yourself, you can get others to take the step like you so they'll be successful, and their success will be more success for you.
Okay.
I'm asking you to get in condition and go slow so when you get to the challenge, you can rise to the challenge.
Okay.
Now you got it. I can hear it in your voice, okay? So this is what I would like to do with your permission.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to send you a schedule of what we talk about in regards to doing this test on all the different steps.
Okay.
And basically the steps are going to be, how does Bernice verify and confirm? How does she know how she can afford it and the budget, to go through the budget, make sure she knows everything is involved? What's involved in the test drive? How does the support work? Does she like the support? Does it fit her? Is she comfortable with the support? Is it something that she can do? Or is she going to be out of her comfort zone so there's no use doing it in the first place? Wouldn't you want to know that up front?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's just like the country club. Remember that new manager that changed things?
Yes.
That's called a personality issue, isn't it? Well, let's make sure your personality works with the people that are going to be supporting you. Maybe you don't like them. And if you do, wouldn't you want to know that up front?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And make sure that the business duplicates. Make sure if you do the test drive, when you're talking to somebody else, you can say, oh, I understand. This is what I went through, and this is what I accomplished. This is Bernice's success story. What's wrong with you having a success story because you did your homework first? Do you like that idea?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't a good yeah, girl. Something's wrong.
Yeah, it just kind of took me back.
Am I going too slow for you?
No.
Oh, okay.
It just kind of, I reflected back on a time that I kind of did that.
So you've had a personal experience where you know how the feeling is, so you don't want to make that mistake again. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. If you're not ready to go slow and dot the I's and cross the T's, I'm going to disqualify you. Not because you're not a nice lady and I haven't enjoyed talking to you, but I don't want you to be in the business for a month or two and then quit. I would rather work with you for a while and get you going so you do have the confidence, so you take the journey and you actually make that money you're looking for.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The last step on this test drive is every step of the way you learning what's expected of you, when to do it, how to do it, why to do it, and where to do it. That is the home run. That's doing the 50 push-ups, whatever you want to call it, Bernice. That's the key right there, knowing what to do and when to do it. Does any of this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The steps are going to be is I'm going to send you this email. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to assign you to one of my associates who has as much experience as I do. I'm even going to give you some training audios so you can hear other people, brand new, just like you, what they're going through, and hear their thoughts and their opinions so you can say, okay, you can talk to all the people you want to, people that are new, people that have been around for 6 months, people that have been around for a year or more. I'd like you to do all of that so when you make the decision, you say, okay, I don't have much money, but what I spend I can't afford to lose. You're going to be confident in the step you take forward. Are we making sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have I said anything that's caused you any concern?
No, not really.
I want to ask you one tough question, and I hope you can answer it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize that we have been talking for almost 17 minutes and I haven't tried to sell you anything?
Yes.
Could you do what we did and just have a conversation like a youth coordinator with your kids and coach them on and help them without trying to sell them on anything?
Yes.
Okay. Now do you see the difference? I'm not a salesman. I know how to support. I know how to help. And I'm a coach just like you, but I'm not a salesman. I don't want to be a salesman. That's why I haven't tried to sell you anything. If you can't figure it out, we're going to stop. This is about you making better choices for yourself. How does that feel?
All right.
Pretty good? Kind of good or terrible?
No, it's kind of good.
Okay. The idea is I'm going to give you information and let you make choices and decisions, because if you make the choice and the decision, you're going to feel good about it. If I try to make it for you, you're not going to get there from here. You're going to resent it. You're going to resent it just like that new manager that didn't include you. You've got to make the decision. You've got to be in control. Don't you feel that in your personality?
Leadership skills, yeah.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, we finally got there, didn't we? Okay. I'm willing to give you the control, but I want you to take it. Now, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to get you this information, and I'm going to have Naomi contact you tomorrow about this time, Nohemi. She's a very nice lady, and you're going to enjoy talking to her, and she's going to finish the process with you and take you through the test drive, okay? So when you get an email, it's going to be, it'll say, okay, and you'll get it tonight, okay?
All right, thank you.
Bless you.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.
Bye.